What if everything you've ever done or going to do has already been planned? What if it's already been destined? What if it's all been predestined? The movie starts off with a man with a briefcase and a clock that's winding down to something. He's in chase of another man. Unfortunately for him, he gets burned bad, just as the clock is winding down. When he wakes up, he's told that he won't look the same as he did before, and there'll be issues with his voice. It turns out that this man is some kind of temporal agent, and he's about to go on his last mission to catch a terrorist he's been chasing throughout the timelines. A terrorist they've named the Fizzle Bomber. A ridiculous name for a terrorist if you ask me, but his supervisor asks him if he's sure this is the time period he wants to go to. To that he responds, yes, this is where I have to be. He winds up at a bar, playing the role of a bartender. There he strikes a conversation with a man who's seemingly minding his own business. Through that conversation, a deal is struck for the most incredible story our temporal agent has ever heard. We get to hear the story of this man, that when he grew up as a little girl, he was different from all the other girls at the orphanage. He never got adopted, but was enlisted in a program that looked for women with incredible IQs and exceptional physical abilities. This, however, did not go well, as she was ejected from the program for fighting, so they said. After that, she tried to better herself. And during that time, she met a man who said all the things she needed to hear. He was the first connection she ever had with a man. The man then had to leave, but told her to wait. Some time later, she found out she was pregnant, and there were complications with her baby. That's when she was told she was born with both fully developed male and female reproductive organs. But during the birth, they had to cut out the female organs, and she would now be rebuilt as a man. While at the hospital, her baby is stolen. To her, this man ruined her life. Seemingly perplexed, the temporal agent asks him, if you were to meet this man again, what would you do? Would you kill him? Our friend with the story replies, yes, I would, but that can't happen. To which he responds, it's something I can make happen, but only if you're willing. Unconvinced, the temporal agent shows him his briefcase and takes him to a time just after she had been thrown out of the academy. He leaves him there and tells him, when I come back, you'll have to go, no questions asked. The man with the story then goes on to meet himself as a woman, and they strike up a conversation, and they get along really well. We're switched to the temporal agent as he's seen stealing a baby from the hospital and leaving it at an orphanage. He comes back to the time period. It's time to go now. To that he responds, why? Why would you do this? You knew. And he says, yes, but it had to happen. Back at this point of origin, our story guy is livid, but the temporal agent goes to explain that the program she went to when she was younger was all a front for the organization he works for, and if he's willing, he could come and work for them. After some convincing, he agrees to go with them. But now it is time for the temporal agent to hand in his briefcase. He punches in the time zone, arrives there, but his briefcase doesn't implode. He continues with his investigation to try and find the Fizzle Bomber. Ridiculous name. And through much investigation, he ends up finding him. Only thing is, the Fizzle Bomber is an older version of himself. We're now switched to see a new temporal agent being inducted, our guy with the story. While this is happening, a monologue is playing. A monologue of a letter written to him by the guy he met at the bar, the first temporal agent. Through all of that, we're switched to a scene that looks somewhat like the start of this movie. Someone being chased down, getting burned, and being reconstructed. But only this time, it's our guy with the story. Let's break down this movie. Or try to break down this movie. I'm gonna go slow. So, we've got this guy. This guy grew up as a girl called Jane. Was left at an orphanage. grew up, joined a program, was kicked out of the program, and sometime later met a guy who was actually herself, had a baby with this guy. The baby was then stolen by a temporal agent who turns out is actually him, her, was left at the orphanage but in a different timeline. Are we together? Then the temporal agent himself, or the guy, the girl, whatever he is, actually stays, becomes the bomber who he's trying to catch. So this guy is his mom, his dad, himself. The guy is trying to catch the person who stole himself and left himself at an orphanage. Why do we make movies like this? Because my question now is, where exactly is the point of origin of this movie? Because all of it seems like it's all connected and had to happen specifically at the right point in time for all of this to come together. But then where is the point of origin? This is what rattles my head about this movie. Here's another question. What would have happened if this guy had refused or not done things according to this temporal agent's plan? If he had, let's say, refused to go and meet himself, if he had refused to join the organization, if he had not joined the program when he was young, what would have happened if one thing was changed in this overall plan? At this point, I don't care. I'm done. I'm literally done with this movie. I'm gonna just leave you with this last scene from it.